Hello, I'm Cassie. Welcome back to my allotment journey. And I'm here today at my townside allotment. It's actually Easter Monday, and there are surprisingly few people here, just my friend John, who is up on his allotment behind me. So today I have set myself just one job. I've decided that from now on, so you can't see me. Can you see me? Yeah, that's better. So I set myself just one job. I'm hoping that I'll be here much longer and be able to do more. But I find that if I set myself lots of jobs and don't do them, I feel like I haven't succeeded. So I'm doing one job today. And that job is to plant out my peas that I've been shooting in the greenhouse. And they've actually been sat down here in my little greenhouse for a few days now. I've popped down and watered them a couple of times, but it's been really handy to have the little mini wooden greenhouse, the Aldi purchase, that has lasted up really well and lasted well through Storm Dave, unlike some of my cold frames. But anyway, that's another story. So yes, I need to clear out some space for the peas, and let me show you where I'm going to be doing that. So it may surprise some of you to know that I actually have a plan for my allotment. I did a plan, and it says on the plan that my peas are to be grown here. This is currently the bed that I put salad in, supposedly for winter salad, but it didn't really do very much in the winter. It's just now springing to life now, although some of the salads did grow rather, and have now gone to seed, so those can easily come out, the Mizuna, but others are just really coming to life. I think most of them are going to have to come out though, so I will make a judgment. It won't hurt if one or two plants gets left behind. They can sit there happily alongside the peas. But yeah, the peas are going to go in here, certainly the ones that grow tall are, and then I'm going to probably pop some peas down that edge where the bulbs are against a little, what do you call it, like a little mini trellis thing. I'll put some pea sticks there as well. And the shorter ones can grow there. But I'll start and see how many I can get in here. So that's my job for the day, is to clear space in this bed for peas and to put them in. So that was quite rewarding to do. It doesn't look now as if it's completely cleared, and it isn't. I found that there's some really tasty mustard leaves right in the middle of the plot, which I've left, and there's a couple of other salad things which are now freed up. I think I will leave to do their thing. I was tempted to progress onto the strawberry patch part of that particular bed. It's a large bed, and one of the corners is completely full of strawberries and weeds. But I'm trying to stay focused on task. So I am going to get some peas in now, get the frame up for some peas, and put the peas in before I then say, well, yes, I can do the next job, and that's the strawberries. So very restrained of me. And you might think my pea bed looks a little bit odd with all these salad things in there, but I'm quite happy to have a mixture of things in any bed. I think that's fine. Okay, let's crack on. So like an idiot, I forgot to keep the camera on while we're putting the posts in. But John has very kindly come and helped me hammer in 3 posts here. And I'm going to put some netting along the posts for the peas to grow up. So that's my next job. So I've had this in my cupboard for about 2 years. I think it's a late night purchase off Temu. It's rather girly, but I think it might do for my peas. So I'm going to give it a go. Let's see how I get on. Well, that's not going to win any prizes for artistic design, is it? But it'll do. So now what I'm going to do is get some water to moisten up the soil a little, and then fetch the peas and plant them out. So I now need to work out which of my peas are going to go up the netting and which are going to go down the side, the shorter ones. I have helpfully marked on them, so I've got Hurst Green Shaft 1 metre climbing, Perfection 2 metre climbing, Gladstone at 1.5 metres, Harold Idle 6 to 8 foot, Dwarf 1.2 metres, climbing, don't know about that one, that's a Dwarf, that's a Manch 2, and that's a 6 foot, put over the arch, a telephone. Yeah, so I went a bit mad with the peas here. I'm just going to put all of the ones that have got anything over 1 metre on them to climb up the frame I've just erected, and then I'll see what I've got left to put down the side. So it has just gone 5 o'clock and I've been here, I think, since about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So I'm feeling a little bit tired. I would quite happily carry on for ages, but my body is not willing to let me. Besides, I have to go and do some errands. Anyway, I did get my single job done and I got some more besides, so I'm really pleased about that. I will just show you what I've managed to get done. So I've planted up this Rhizium plant that I picked up because I loved the colours in B&Q a couple of days ago. So that's going to look nice. So I think I'm just going to dot flowers around the plot because it looks lovely. So as you saw, I weeded the salad bed, erected my mishmash pea frame, planted the peas around it, and then in lots of the space that was left, I had been wondering, I got lots of onions, spring onions and shallots left over that I didn't have homes for, so they are now in the space that's there as well, dotted in and about. I weeded this flower border here that's got all the bulbs still coming out, so they haven't finished yet by a long shot, but when I'd weeded it, I sowed, I don't know if you can just about see some down the back here, just there, and all along I put some more peas, the dwarf ones, and I also erected another net, and which I hope is not going to blow over, and put some more lightly climbing peas here. So it's an allotment full of peas. Yeah, so it doesn't sound like a lot for all that time. Oh yes, and I have potted up a couple of a chocolate cosmos and a bee pure tubers or bare roots from Farmer Gracie. So the time has finally come for me to attempt to weed out my strawberry patch. So I think it's time for a break. I've got certainly the majority of that, bit of a squashed bit of strawberry patch there, but they'll recover. So that is so much better than what it was. I'm here today on a Sunday morning, and I got here about 9:30. It's now about 10:15. So I've been hoeing over and weeding at one of my beds here on my main site. I'm going to be putting in some leeks today. It might be, I don't know, is it a bit early to put them out? I'm not sure, but I am sure that my leeks that have been in my greenhouse are just not looking well, and they've been in too small a tray for too long. Let's take a look at them. So although they've got a reasonable length on them, they're not putting on any girth, so to speak, and yeah, they're just looking a bit pale to me. And these are only these small trays Charles Dowding swears by. I think I just need to get them out. There's not enough nutrients in there, and I'm certainly not going to do another round of potting them on. I've also brought with me my pre-star cabbage and my beetroot. So the pre-star cabbage is part of a grow along with So Chatty. That's getting put out in the wild today as well, because my greenhouse is just too full to be hosting cabbage. So I've prepared the ground for the leeks by weeding, although it still looks like there's bits of green there. Some of that's just chopped leaves. And then I dibbed with the big dibber enough holes for all of my leeks, and I filled those with water. Now that's sunk in quite a bit, but I'm not going to put any more. I think that's going to be enough. So 55 holes for 55 leek modules, and I shall put them in now. So I think it's time to give you a little bit of a plot tour of my main plot here at my townside allotments. I'm really proud with all the work that I've been putting in over the last week, and I think it's looking in pretty good shape. It's not perfect, it never will be, but let's have a look at it. So overall, I think it has a really lovely cottage garden feel to it, which is what I'm aiming for. In time, I'll have even more flowers, I think, spread in and amongst the vegetables. But it's just feeling so lovely at the moment. It's such a lovely place to come. I'll walk you through the different beds that I've got. So in this bed, I have some early cauliflowers, which I grew from seed in module trays. I've also put in some red cabbage, but Only some of them seem to be doing well, and a couple of them seem to have been squashed or munched. So they may need replacing. That's okay, there's plenty of time for those. I've got some stray parsnips from last year that are going to seed. So they were such good parsnips that I think I will let them go to seed and collect the seed for next year's parsnips. Here I've got one of my allium beds, so a mix of alliums. I've got some leeks which I'm letting go to seed there to collect those seeds. I've got here some of the Ailsai onions. Now they are growing in competition at the moment with some self-seeded pak choi. So that's not great. I need to get those up. You'll see a couple of holes where I've dug up a trowel full to give to John and Kathy, my allotment neighbours. But I need to sort that out, otherwise the onions aren't going to enjoy that very much. I've got a bit more weeding to do on here again, but yeah, there's my 3 elephant garlic, and those are some of my ordinary garlic, and behind them, doing really well actually, my shen onions that I grew from seed out here over winter, so it can be done. And then next to those are some globo onions which I've grown in module trays and planted out recently. This is my old brassica bed, which as you can see has still got old brassicas in it. It's got some purple sprouting broccoli which is now going to seed, and the sprout plants have shot up lots of shoots which can be used like tender stem broccoli, and are very tasty, but also our rabbits enjoy them. But in my plan, yes, I do have a plan. This bed is for radishes and beetroot. Now, I don't need all of this bed for radishes and beetroot, I don't think, but I have put some radishes in here, and there up has popped another dandelion. Dandelions are the bane of my life at the moment, that and couch grass. But yeah, there are hopefully going to be some radishes there. They're looking a bit floppy at the moment. And then along here, I've planted some 3 different sorts of beetroot, and yesterday I put some more in. So who knows, I don't have a lot of luck with beetroot, and I'm really hoping I get a good crop this year. Here I put my leeks in yesterday, and I sowed also, just for the fun of it, some carrots, more carrots. I don't think they'll do particularly well in this bed because I think the loose soil doesn't go too deep, but it was just fun. I had the seeds in my pocket and they kept falling out. So that's that. Then I've got some rather feeble salad plants, various salad plants that I had been growing in the greenhouse, and that were getting fed up of the greenhouse. So they're out. I need to grow some more salad. I didn't have much luck with those seedlings. It may have been too hot in there for them, to be honest. And then as I was digging over this or raking over this bed yesterday, I came across this, which is a chard, and I'm going to let that grow from last year. Here we've got yet another onion bed. These are my onions grown from sets, and so my autumn sets. I tend to put sets in over autumn, in the autumn rather, to overwinter. They do generally quite well. Some of them bolt, but they're still edible, so that's good. This part of this bed is one of the few areas I've got left to do, really. It's the remainder of some little brassicas there, but I need to clear that, and that will give me some extra space. And then this is the first of my flower beds with one of my roses. I think that's the ancient mariner rose. A new rose that I put in there. What's this one called again? This was a prize-winning rose. Rose of the year. It's called Coral Gardens, so that looks like a nice colour to come up. Some hollyhocks there, tulips coming through there, anemones, and then my lupins with raspberries at the edge, which I probably will take out next year, otherwise they'll just invade everywhere. In fact, they're starting to invade a bit, but I just wanted to get a decent crop off them because I haven't yet. So there we go. This is a bed which is sitting waiting mainly for some plants. I think eventually I will put my sunflowers along the bottom of this here, but in the meantime I've put some lovely ranunculus and other little potted border plants that I picked up cheaply. I just think they look so pretty. And then along this little fence I put some of my dwarf peas. They've got some, well, I think they might be low climbing peas actually, some of those. So they've got some netting to climb up there. The other flower bed is mainly got sleeping dahlias in it. I have checked and most of the tubers look actually absolutely great. In fact, I can see there, in the middle of that one, I can see a shoot coming up. So that's taking its chances with the frost. Hopefully we don't get too many more, but maybe I should cover that, I don't know. That's my Eustacia Vi rose. That looks like really healthy. And in the corner, my Coco Loco rose is springing to life, so really pleased about that. Up that border there, all my spring bulbs are still very much alive. Well, most of them are alive and some of them are coming to life. A few of them have gone over, obviously the daffodils have gone over a bit, but those are looking lovely. And then here we've got my asparagus bed. And amazingly, it's got asparagus in it, so I'm very excited about that. Let's see if we can get you a decent shot of it. You see, need to get some of this grass up again, but there are some definite signs of asparagus life here, going across that in a line there. And there's another massive one there, and some others coming up in different places. So that seems to have survived. I believe I am not to pick them this year because it's only their second year, and I need to let them grow and thrive and then next year start picking. So that's quite frustrating, but I want to make sure I do the best thing for my asparagus. There are my globe artichokes, and there's a solitary blueberry bush which I had completely forgotten about, but seems to be okay there. I probably should move that to the fruit plot. And then coming along here, this is where I had my carrots, and that's planning to be this part of the bed for brassicas. I've put in my pre-star cabbage, so it's been out overnight. It was quite a cold night, but it doesn't seem to have suffered for that. There's some remnant leeks there, and then at the end of this bed and also the next one, we've got my strawberries. So I completed that side after I filmed me clearing this side, and I have to say the strawberries do look thankful for it. They are springing to life and looking very verdant. And then this bed here is a right mix of things actually. So I put up my pea construction behind there with the netting, and then I've also put in some sweet peas to grow up the birch construction that I made last year. I haven't spread it out quite so much this year. I've made it sort of flatter, but I'm also growing the sweet peas up the arch. And then, so walk around here, I've got some mustard plants that have overwintered, and another sort of mustard there. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it's very tasty. And then in between, I've put some more onions that I had growing in the module trays. All the onions got evicted from the greenhouse to create space, and these are spring onions here. And I think at the back, did I put in some shallots? I actually can't remember and I can't see properly. I think I did. I think I put some shallots at the back. So that's the right mismatch. And then here's some lovely little tulips which I'm looking forward to coming up. And in that bed there, so far, there are some parsnips that are seeded. They're not showing any signs of life yet, but they always take ages to come up. I need to do another weeding, get those remains of that Cavolo Nero out now, although the bees are still loving it, so maybe I'll give it another week or so. And there, I've still got my celeriac, which is still growing. I'm going to have to pull it at some point, but we shall see. And then tucked here, I've got 5, let's see the amount of it, 5 very interesting little plants here. And these I got from an organisation called Jurassic Plants, which I discovered online and then found that they were literally a mile from my house and I could virtually see them from my bedroom. So these are just some really interesting plants. This one is a blue sausage shrub. So just starting off in here. I'll probably put it into a bigger pot because it's doing well already. This is a hardy lemon bitter orange, Citrus trifoliata. So I'm really interested. These are all plants you can grow here. This is a pineapple guava. This is a Chilean guava, and I'm at no, that's a ginkgo. That's probably not going to stay here. That's probably going to go home when it gets bigger, but it's just with its mates at the moment. And this is a Chilean guava. So yeah, pineapple guava, a Chilean guava, and they all grow well in this country apparently. So I'm very excited about those. Some of them will be going over to the fruit plot when they get themselves a bit more established, but for now they're going to live in pots and be mollycoddled. So that is about it. Oh yes, and we've got my tayberry, which is starting to grow up over this very feeble arch again, but it did very well last year, so I'm going to let it do the same. So that, my friends, is my main plot at my townside allotments, and I am absolutely loving it. Look at that beautiful day here today.